What is good? We're back with the Madden 06 Dolphins franchise, and here's the Super Bowl matchup. Obviously, we know the Colts, but the Falcons came out of the NFC, and so this is going to be the battle of the backup quarterbacks because we know Peyton Manning's out for the season, and Michael Vick is out another 2 weeks. He's hurt too, so it's going to be the battle of the backup quarterbacks, and the Colts win the Super Bowl. You know, I could say it could have been us, but to be honest, the last time we played the Falcons, it didn't go well. But one can fathom this game was played in a dome. We play indoors, it's not rainy and whatnot. We're clicking a little better offensively. We don't have to worry about Michael Vick, who did torch us. The game could have gone different. I mean, shoulda, woulda, coulda, hypothetically speaking. I mean, we could do that to the end of time. But, the Colts won the Super Bowl, so we just got to go out and beat the Colts next year, It's one of those things. But, so close yet so far, as they say. So these are the rest of the stats, and we are going to proceed to the offseason in this video. That is what this video is about. I'm going to go ahead and just show the stats. Not the stats, excuse me. Well, yeah, stats and then Pro Bowl and stuff like that. We did have a decent turnout with the Pro Bowl. We got both our offensive tackles made it. And then we had McKinney, Jason Taylor as well, so that's 4. And then we did still pull out Chris Gamble, who missed a good chunk of the season, but he was playing really well. So we had 5 Pro Bowlers. I can live with that. I mean, that's decent for the first season. Hoping we could have had more, but hey, what can you do sometimes? And then here's the NFC side of things. So our net total income, we made 11.7 million this year. That needs to go up. We're Miami. We're a good market. I think if we put a better product on the field next year, I mean, not that we had a bad season, we had a really good season, then that should help us out with the income. Maybe jack up the prices a little bit, do a little inflation. As you see, New England coach is retiring. That's Bill Belichick. So who knows? Maybe he'll come back out of retirement. Trent Green's hanging it up. So the Chiefs need a quarterback. Jeff Garcia's done. A lot of old heads in here. Doug Flutie's still playing, 43 years old. That's crazy. Sean Alexander, Deuce McAllister both had career-ending injuries, which sucks. So the Saints and Seahawks both need running backs. Let's see what else. All the fullbacks, a lot of big-time fullbacks like Lawrence O'Neal, Tony Richardson. Jimmy Smith had a great season, like 1,700 yards in Pro Bowl. He's hanging it up. Rod Smith, Jerry Rice. I showed his stats earlier. He had a pretty good season for being 42 years old, now 43. So, yeah, honestly, that's my argument. You can make an argument that Jerry Rice is the GOAT because I feel like playing receiver in your 40s is harder than standing and being a 40-year-old quarterback. Just my opinion in terms of degree of difficulty. But, hey, neither here nor there. You can make an argument. Some people say Tom Brady. Some people say Jerry Rice. Some people say Jim Brown. You know, the GOAT is an opinion. It's not a fact. I'll just put it out that way. We are losing Trailer. Junior Seau is the big loss, though. The other dude, he didn't play, Trailer. And then we're losing our long snapper. But losing Junior Seau sucks. I mean, he's 37 years old. If he's done, he's done. RIP to Junior Seau, by the way. Great player. Cato June with the back injury, having a career-ending injury. That sucks. Deion Sanders, his old behind, was still playing in this. That's crazy. I mean, hey, 88 speed, that's not too bad for 38, 39 years old for a Madden rating. Troy Vincent's hanging it up, so we don't have to worry about him with Buffalo. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of older players in this game. Like seeing guys in their 40s. Jenkins is our restricted free agent. We're going to keep him around. He was good. He had that forced fumble on Pac-Man Jones in the season, and he's got my last name, so, you know, got to pay a little homage to keep him around. So these are our free agents, the guys whose contracts are up. So a fair amount of these guys we're going to let walk, but a good amount of them we're going to bring back. We are going to bring back McMichael, the Georgia Bulldog. He was a great tight end for us. And I think if we get a better quarterback, we could get him the ball a little more. Heath Evans was solid. We'll keep him around for sure. So McKinney, he did make the Pro Bowl, so we'll keep him around. I was hesitant with our offensive line because they did give up a lot of sacks at times. I mean, they were great run blocking. They got Ronnie Brown going towards the end of the year, but, you know, the pass blocking, we did get exposed sometimes. Jeremiah Bell had a great season. Jones went down. He stepped up. So, yeah, these are the guys we're going to let go with the exception of McDougal. We are going to end up giving McDougal a contract. I missed him on there. I was 50-50 about it. I figured why not try to keep the offensive line together. So, and his ratings for run block and pass block were pretty good. So Sammy Morris and Travis Minor, I'm going to see the running back market. Then I'll decide right there. We make a trade with the Niners. Now we're going to do a big trade. We're going to get Lance Briggs to replace Junior Seau. We're sending A.J. Feely and our first rounder to the Bears. And doing another salary dump, we're sending Jones and Rex Hadnot to the Saints because Jones, we got Jeremiah Bell, so we're good at strong safety. We could just draft one, so that was the trades I decided to make. And then I'm looking at, these are the guys I've scouted in the yellow, but we're not going to look at all of them. The guys that I'm Xing, I do want to see more of, so we're going to look at those guys. We're also going to try to get back into the first round. I want that receiver Michaels because he's fast, so we're sending Vonnie Holiday and Kevin Carter to the Skins for a second-round pick. So, yeah, a lot of veteran players we're getting rid of. Now we're going to send Donnie Abraham, our starting left guard James, and the second-round pick to the Falcons to get pick 31. Remember, we had pick 30. Now we're getting pick 31. This guy's still on the board, Michaels. Look at that speed, 4.2 40, 3.9 shuttle is pretty darn good, I'm not going to lie. So we're going to get him. And they booed it. I don't know why they booed the pick because it's a good pick, but who knows. So here we are, fourth round. We're back in the draft. We're going to get Goolsby at strong safety. That's crazy. The first, second round projection quarterback is still there. But we're not drafting a quarterback. We're going to get one in free agency. We get Simmons. We're getting the guys on our board first. And then that guy was Cato, was a guard that was still there. So I figured why not get some depth on the offensive line because we do need it. We did a big dump of players. So now, end of the 5th round, I'm looking at who we got. We got our guys. So now we're just looking for players that we are, just to get at this point. Now I was looking at this defensive end, looking at defensive tackles. I like this defensive tackle, so we're going to get him. And then here we are at pick 30. We're going to get another strong safety, Hackett, because he was on the board, and it was somebody we looked at earlier, but we got Goolsby, but Hackett was still on the board, so I figure why not. So we're going to sign our draft picks. Michaels, 96 speed, 90 agility, 91 acceleration, 77 catch. I don't know why I'm going to all of that. I really only care about the overall and then like a couple of the attributes that are more relevant to the position. Goolsby, let's see what we get from him. 24 years old, Montana State, 77 overall, 83 speed. So he's not the fastest guy on paper. He does have 89 acceleration, and he's a good tackler, and he's a hard hitter. So that's why we got him at strong safety. Simmons, let's see what he gets. 71 overall. Cato probably would be a higher overall because he was projected to go higher in the draft. 6'6", 318. That's a little tall for a guard, but hey, we'll take it. 75 overall. Let's get it. Sanders, we're going to sign him as well. We signed all our picks. He's 71 overall. And now this guy, I'm going to spoil. This was a surprise to me. This is a guy we got late in the 6th round, Hackett. Dante Hackett, and he's a 77 overall as well with 89 speed, so he's faster than Goolsby. He's not as strong, so he's more of a coverage. I think his archetype was a coverage strong safety. Goolsby is a hard-hitting strong safety. So we'll see. We're going to go through it. We're going to keep them both for sure, but, I mean, to get a safety in the 4th and 6th round at the same position, and the guy we get in the 6th round just as good, sometimes that's just the way it is. So here we are in free agency. The thing I don't like about Madden 06 is that they do free agency after the draft, and some of the newer ones that we play, like newer games after Madden 06, that is, so still old Maddens but newer than this one, they got free agency before the draft, and then the second free agency period after the draft. So Agunleye used to be a Dolphin, believe it or not. So we weren't good enough for a top 3 consideration. The Titans suck in this. We crushed them. So we're going to go ahead and give him a better offer and see if he'll want to come if we just give him a better offer financially. I gave everybody the basic contract offer that it said to give us, and I just pray usually when I do that. I'm like, I give you the basic thing that it offers usually, and then you make the decision if it's good enough. But Agunleye didn't sign yet. You saw we got Hovan, the defensive tackle, to pair with Zagonia. So now just looking for some depth. We're going to look at this guy at right guard. And then running back-wise, I still feel like guys who are familiar with the system, Sammy Morris and Travis Minor, we'll bring them both back. We do get Agunleye. We got the right guard. And then we're going to get Quinn Gray, because we do need to get some quarterbacks. The only one on our roster is Farrat right now, so we still got to figure out if we're getting a new quarterback or not. So we get Walker, we get Wells, we get Sammy Morris, we get Minor, we get Quinn Gray. So we get all our guys. We didn't miss out on anybody. We almost missed out on Agunleye, but we ended up getting him. So Billy Volek and Tim Rattay are going to go compete for the Chiefs quarterback spot. They're replacing Trent Green, who just retired. Anthony Wright went to the Giants. He actually did go to the Giants to back up Eli. Todd Collins and Cordell Stewart are going to the Niners to back up Alex Smith, and then we got Quinn Gray, obviously. Travis Henry going to the Rams. So they got a crowded backfield. They got Marshall Faulk, who's probably on his last leg at this point. Steven Jackson, now Travis Henry. We get Travis Minor and Sammy Morris. Trunk candidate, Raiders. Cartwright goes to the Saints. Justin Fargas goes to the Packers. Musa Muhammad to the San Diego Chargers. David Boston, who we let go, he's going to the Panthers. See anybody else notable? Dan Campbell going to the Steelers. That's interesting. He's going to go pair up with Heath Miller. That's actually a pretty good tight end duo, I'm not going to lie. I mean, Heath Miller's the more athletic of the two, but, hey, still two good tight ends. Dockery going to the Falcons. Reggie Wells going to the Dolphins. I didn't see Dockery was a free agent. That's my guy. I should have picked him up, so I might have to go back and trade for him because Dockery's my guy. Very nice guy, if you ever get to meet him. And very tall. He's 6'6", I believe, something like that. So, yeah, I'm just going to show the rest of these. I mean, we already know who we got. Agunleye, I think, was a big pickup because we did trade Vonnie Holiday because we were trying to progressively move back up in the draft, which we were successful doing. We did sign that guy Walker right there. I can't remember if we mentioned that or not, but he's going to be our backup to McDougal because we did have some of like the backups that were offensive linemen that I didn't like their overalls or think that they were worthwhile keeping. No disrespect to them, just the decision I made, and we had to reload and get that depth because we need people. We're still thin at quarterback because all we have is Farrat and Quinn Gray, so we'll have to sign a third one at some point or trade for a third one. We're going to figure it out. So we are going to bring back Sage Rosenfels. He was with us last year. Nobody's picking him up, it looks like, so we'll bring him back on a 1 year just to get some depth. We are going to trade a third-round pick to get Derek Dockery. He'll be our starting left guard. Not that Wells is bad, but I think Dockery is probably the better of the two. We're looking at quarterbacks to trade for, and I came down to this guy who didn't play much because John Kitna started over him, first-round pick, and this guy, first-round pick. So two guys that were first-round picks that are sitting behind people. And the reason that I'm looking at Phillip Rivers is because they still have Drew Brees. Like, they signed him back. So that's the decision I made. They signed Drew Brees back. I would have signed Drew Brees if he was a free agent. Instead, we're going to bring in Phillip Rivers because he is sick and tired of sitting behind Drew Brees. And I'm sick and tired of seeing the Chargers do that to him. So he can come over and he can win a ring here because he deserves it. Great career, great quarterback, definitely a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he'll get in first ballot, but he's going to get in at some point in the Hall of Fame. So here's our roster. This is what we're rolling with. So what we're going to do is we do the training camp drills. We're going to put Phillip Rivers in. I did make a rule about how I do those, but we're going to develop Phillip Rivers. He will be our starting quarterback. Farrat will be the backup just for this year because he has a year left on his deal. So, yeah, let's